Hello and welcome to the Larson Hicks Show podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it. It's good to have you here. If you are, this is your first time, welcome to the channel. I hope you stick around and watch some more of the videos, listen to the stuff, and join in the conversation. If you're already a subscriber, it's good to have you back. Thanks for being here. So today, I think this will be a pretty short video, and I don't remember what brought this up, but just recently, I ended up in a conversation about price gouging, and it reminded me that this is one of my favorite concepts and one of my favorite things to, at least in economics, to think about. And I'm stealing 99% of this from a really wonderful podcast conversation between Mike Munger, an economist out of Duke University, and Russ Roberts out of the Stanford Institute for Economics and Liberty and Economics, something like that. He's got a podcast called Econ Talk, which I think is wonderful. So this is the thing about price gouging. It comes up every so often because something happens and word gets out that somebody's charging a crazy high rate for some sort of good or service. They're taking advantage of some tragedy, some circumstance. You know, as I'm recording this, there is a war going on in Ukraine, and I promise you there will be quote unquote price gouging that happens there. And what I want to argue is I think it's a wonderful thing. It's an excellent thing. It's a thing that reveals the emergent brilliance and beauty of a competitive free market. And if you and all of the things that I think we attribute to all of the negative, evil components to price gouging, or scenarios that we look at that we call price gouging, I think normally are the result of meddling with and trying to control or plan the economy. So what is it? I'm talking about, and this is, I think, a great example, great illustration. You've got I'm here in Huntsville, Alabama. It's hot. Let's say in the summertime, some sort of natural disaster, a tornado or something comes through, knocks out our power. It's down for a week. And some bubbas from, the hills and out in Tennessee rent a refrigerated truck and load it up with ice and drive it down and start charging $100 a bag. Okay. And that's the scenario, okay? And to make matters worse, there are people who have life-threatening illnesses like diabetes who need insulin, and that needs to be refrigerated, and they'll die if they don't get the ice. And here are these jerks who are charging $100 a bag. How dare they? So that's the scenario. And I think it illustrates one of the classic scenarios that we look at and point our fingers and just think, gosh, what scoundrels, what evil people to just take advantage of people who are in that. They're already down. They're already in the middle of a natural disaster, and here they are. Here come the price gougers to rip them off. Well, what I'd argue is that pricing is a mechanism for ensuring that the people who need things the most have access to them, and it's the way that the market, in an emergent way, is able to signal to producers, service providers, manufacturers, then how great the need is for a particular thing at any given time. So the idea is, if on a normal day, a bag of ice costs you $2, and you can go down to any Circle K and grab some, and that's during normal times when ice is abundant, power is turned on, and so you can buy ice all day long and use it for whatever you want. Keep your beers cold while you're tailgating, whatever. What happens in the natural disaster scenario is this unique opportunity is created where these bubbas up in the hills of Tennessee realize, hey, I can make some serious money if we rent out a refrigerated truck and load it up full of ice and drive it down and sell ice for $100 a bag. And what happens is the price ensures that the people who need it most get it, right? If that was made illegal, if price gouging was made illegal, then there would be no incentive for those guys to do that, right? And if they came out, let's say they were like, well, we just want to do it to bless people, so we're just going to rent an ice truck and we're going to drive it out there. Well, and we're just going to charge a normal rate. We're not going to charge anything. Well, what's going to happen is the very first people, that ice is going to be snatched up immediately, and it's going to be by people who just want to keep their beers cold for tailgating. People who just want to who want it for any number of reasons, and so the supply gets depleted completely, and the people that need it most, the people who have life-saving medications that need to be refrigerated, they're still stuck without ice. And so I think that demonstrates the value of price gouging, the mechanism of price gouging that incentivizes people to get off their butts and go take a risk in order for a big payday. The other example that's maybe common to people who live in big cities is like New York. You'll have a snowstorm, and all of a sudden the Uber rates go way up. They double, surge pricing. And again, this is something I've heard people complain about, and it's so funny because it's the exact same phenomenon. The idea is that you're an Uber driver and you're going, I don't want to go out in this mess. It's gross out there. It's wet. It's dangerous. You can't drive very fast. You're not going to be able to see nearly, have nearly as many clients. Not worth it. Why would I go out there right now? I'm going to wait until things cool off and things dry up, and the surge pricing mechanism incentivizes those people to get off their couch and get out there, because there are people, when you're the person who's stuck without a way to get home in a crazy snowstorm, and you're either too old to trudge across town or whatever, you're stoked to pay an extra, pay double to have an Uber take you home. And so again, it's the same idea. You complain about it. The only people who aren't complaining are the people who really desperately need the car. They're the ones going, I'm so thankful that you're out here driving right now. And you're not doing it out of the goodness of your heart. You're doing it because there was a financial, economic opportunity for you. So that's the basic thing. I think the evil side of price gouging, or what is probably a more problematic side, is I do think our property right, intellectual property, patent law is goofy in America. And I think you look at the example of I think there was a documentary made about this guy, this kind of slime bag who found all these drugs that didn't have any competitors and that were still patented, and bought them and then just completely jacked up their price. So I think the EpiPen was one of them, where overnight the price went from $50 a shot to $1,500 a shot or something. And this guy was villainized, and he doesn't care. He likes it, and he does it all the time. It's his thing. And to me, the thing is he's playing the game that was created, and I don't like that game. I don't like the patent game. I will say that there is one positive externality to that scenario, and that's that when he recognizes that this price isn't right, that there's an opportunity for this price to be much, much higher. That signals to other manufacturers that, hey, there's an opportunity here, and now there's this opportunity to way undercut this crazy $1,500 a shot dude, and go out there and create something for and sell it for $500 a shot, or even $1,000 a shot, and still make tons of money. And again, you get competition. the problem again is with intellectual property and with the FDA and the way that things happen there. I've looked into it a little bit, and what it seems to me what's happening, especially in the pharmaceutical industry, is the FDA and pharma companies are in bed with each other. Billions of dollars are paid by pharma companies to the FDA to give them patents, to extend their patents, to give them special use patents, special authorizations to extend their patents. If you've got a drug, but now you've come up with a companion diagnostic, well, now that your patent's expired, we're going to start the clock on your patent because now you've got a companion diagnostic. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on in that world, and I think it's a captured economy. It's a aspect of our economy that's not functioning in a competitive free market context anymore. It's been captured by people who are trying to create monopolies and eliminate competition. So that's where I would, there's lots of, that's a big debate, big conversation, maybe another video. But I'm not entirely against intellectual property. I see its place, but I think it does create an opportunity for corruption, and we see a lot of it, especially in things like in the pharmaceutical world. We're all kind of living through that right now. So I'll stop there. I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are about price gouging. Bottom line, I think it's generally a great thing. It's this amazing emergent phenomena in a competitive free market that ensures that people who need things the most get them, and people who don't need them are disincentivized. And I think that's a cool thing. It's another reason why I think free market, competitive markets are a beautiful thing and the right thing. So anyway, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, questions, ideas. I will put a link to the Econ Talk podcast if you want to hear a much longer exploration of this topic by two very, very smart and wonderfully articulate economists. I will put that link in the description below. And if you want to listen to this on podcasts, I'm starting to upload these to a podcast. And so I'll put a link to the channel. It's only got one of the videos up, but I'm hoping soon to get all of these up, so that if that's your jam, and I've heard that feedback from several people that they prefer to just listen to this in the car when they're driving or whatever. And so anyway, I'll get those up for you. And again, appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to me talk about whatever it is I want to talk about, which today was price gouging. Have a great day.